Hey folks, if you want the real story, you gotta stick with S News.
Yeah, make sure to subscribe, like, and drop a comment below to support us. Stay tuned for all our latest updates and future videos. With Trump's ceasefire announcement, is the Israel-Iran war really over? With President Donald Trump announcing a ceasefire, the war between Israel and Iran is supposedly coming to an end.
But do you really believe that?
Don't be fooled by the false claims pushed by the Trump administration and Israel. The deep hatred between Iran and Israel hasn't disappeared. If anything, it's heating up even more. Even under this fragile ceasefire, the news is growing increasingly alarming. Both countries are preparing for what could be the biggest war the Middle East has ever seen. It won't just be the climax of a long-standing conflict. It could be the beginning of the end of Israel's dominance in the region. Imagine this being the moment Iran has been waiting for, to finally respond to every brutal attack it has suffered. And do you know what that means? This could mark the collapse of everything Israel and Trump have built, and the world might witness it firsthand. A high-ranking Iranian official just made a statement that could shake the entire world. The next war with Israel, he said, will be the final war, and that's not just a threat. It's a calculated promise from Tehran. While the true meaning of final war remains unclear, many believe Iran is now ready to unleash its military power like never before.
If war breaks out again, Iran won't hesitate to launch hundreds of missiles daily at Israel. This will be a war more brutal and terrifying than anything before.
This isn't just empty talk. Iran has revealed that it still has a stockpile of advanced missiles ready to go. Missiles that could put serious pressure on Israel if the fragile ceasefire is broken. What's even scarier is that Iranian officials claim they now know exactly where Israel's military weak spots are. They've studied how to break through Israel's defenses and hit the most vulnerable targets. This isn't just random threats anymore, it's a strategic, well-thought-out warning.
Brigadier General Abolfazl Shekarchi has confirmed that Iran is more prepared now than ever before. If Israel chooses to continue its aggression, Iran will respond with deadly, overwhelming force. Even Israel's allies won't be able to save it.
This is a high-stakes gamble. A showdown that could shake the entire world. So what is Iran really preparing behind this threat? What if it all becomes real? While the ceasefire might seem like a step toward peace, wild speculation is spreading.
And although much of it hasn't been verified, it's unclear whether this ceasefire is genuinely meant to calm things down, or if it's giving Iran space to plan its next strategic move.
Some analysts believe Iran is now reassessing its nuclear strategy, expanding its regional alliances, and testing the limits of international willpower. During this time, Iran is expected to rethink its deterrence strategy, bolster its asymmetrical naval forces, ramp up cyber operations, and prepare for long-term retaliatory actions.
Observers say the ceasefire offers Iran a golden opportunity to restructure its leadership, restock its weapon supplies, and plan a diplomatic offensive on the international stage. This follows a devastating war that drained much of Iran's stock of short and medium-range missiles and damaged much of its missile launch infrastructure, targets that were hit early on by Israel and the United States. Now, Iran is likely prioritizing refueling its aircraft, modernizing its missile arsenal, developing new types of missiles like the supersonic Fateh and Khaibar-Shikan, and strengthening its air defense systems to face even deeper and deadlier threats in the future.
Some state media reports even claim Iran is preparing for a war that could last between 2 to 6 months, showing just how seriously it's getting ready for a long, drawn-out battle with Israel and the United States. They've even started calling it the final war.
While some of this intel is still questionable, one thing is clear. Israel and the United States need to be extremely cautious. Iran could very well be using this moment to rebuild its strength and prepare for a massive counterattack in the near future. But there's one major factor Iran must seriously consider: its heavy reliance on a deterrence strategy based mostly on missiles and aircraft.
Untreated threats and strategic gaps. What's really going on with Iran and Israel? Even though some of Iran's tactics show a certain level of strategic skill, they also reveal serious vulnerabilities.
These systems can be easily breached if faced with more advanced airstrikes or cyber warfare. To make up for this weakness, Iran is expected to try to immediately buy the Russian S-400 air defense system and Su-35 fighter jets, weapons that can offer much more powerful protection against complex aerial threats.
But what's even more alarming than conventional weapons is the possibility that Iran might actually be preparing to acquire nuclear weapons for the next war. There's no hard proof yet, but Iranian officials have made comments about a final war that strongly suggest they're willing to use weapons capable of completely destroying Israel. That leads to a serious question. Is Iran really planning to continue its war with Israel? If so, then many would argue Iran holds full responsibility for keeping this conflict alive.
Western media has responded strongly to Iran's military buildup, seeing it as a move that could completely collapse the already shaky ceasefire. Many believe that instead of negotiating a peaceful solution, like through nuclear talks with President Trump, Iran is actually preparing to strike Israel again, meaning this war might not be over at all. As the old saying goes, where there's smoke, there's fire. And right now, that perfectly describes the tension surrounding the ceasefire between Iran and Israel.
Meanwhile, the increasingly aggressive moves by Israel and the United States have only added to Iran's fears. It feels like both countries are preparing for a large-scale war.
With both sides boosting their arsenals and finalizing strategies, the threat feels more real than ever. Recent unconfirmed reports say that U.S. CENTCOM Commander General Michael Kurilla arrived in Israel. His visit to Tel Aviv wasn't just a routine meeting with Israeli Chief of Staff Herzi Halevi, it might also signal the start of a new Israeli military operation. This only deepens Iran's suspicion that something bigger is coming.
A few days ago, tensions rose further after the Houthi rebels in Yemen launched a ballistic missile named Palestine II in an airstrike. The attack targeted Ben Gurion Airport in Java and was reportedly a move by the Israeli Liberation Party to stop American weapons shipments to Israel. Rumors suggest cargo planes loaded with weapons landed at the airport, hinting that Israel is actively rebuilding its arsenal for the next war. So, it's not surprising that Iran is preparing too. Both Israel and the United States have already reinforced their military presence across the Middle East, so blaming Iran alone if war breaks out again wouldn't be fair.
Pakistan, for example, is rumored to be ready to step in if Iran is attacked again. There are also claims that North Korea might get involved if Israel and the United States continue hitting Iran's allies in the region. This means the next conflict could be much bigger, possibly pulling in Iran's partners who are ready to take action.
Although Israel and the United States haven't made any official comments on these latest developments, Russia might step in to support Iran, given their close military cooperation in past conflicts. Russia has long supplied Iran with advanced air defense systems.
Meanwhile, Iran has supported Russia by providing kamikaze drones. You also can't ignore China, which has close ties with Iran too. From all this, one thing is clear. Iran will only move if it feels it has no other choice. Most of its attacks have come as reactions to Israeli actions.
So again, it's unfair to blame Iran alone for everything happening. And while Iranian strikes are often linked to its nuclear ambitions, a big question remains.
Who can guarantee that Israel doesn't already have its own nuclear arsenal? Because if it does, that could make the situation even more dangerous.
Finally, at the end of the video, we just want to thank you all for listening and encourage you to follow S News and watch our future videos.